guys, welcome back to Southern Gal True Crime. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for dropping in and hanging out with me for a little bit. I share missing persons, cold cases, some current true crime in the news, and more. Most of the majority of the cases that I feature on my channel are not the high profile cases that are in the news. It's in my heart to do the lower profile cases that don't get a lot of media attention, because those cases are very important to get the stories out there, get the names out there, so that they are never forgotten, which is the mantra of my channel: never forget. Feel free to check out my playlist. You might come across some cases you've never heard of before. So please do check those out. Please consider subscribing and check that notification bell to all, so you won't miss any new videos I upload. I try to upload my videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, depending on my hectic work schedule for my real job that I have. I always do, on Mondays, I have my missing person Monday videos. I feature usually 5 missing persons cold cases. Fridays are my cold case of the week. And like I said, sometimes on Wednesdays, if there is any new information that comes out about any of these high profile cases that are in the news, I'll do a short condensed video to bring you that information. And then sometimes on Sundays, if I have time, we'll lighten it up a little bit and take a look at some dumb criminals or some stupid crimes or things of that nature. Abandoned crime scenes, abandoned places in general have always fascinated me. But anyway, so today is Friday, so we will have our cold case of the week. And this cold case is from 1977. It is an unsolved homicide, and it is from West Virginia. So I will be bringing you the timeline and all the information. But first, on all my videos, I always feature a current missing person. Let me get full screen so I can read what I'm doing. My old eyes can't see so well anymore sometimes, even with my glasses. And this information comes from neverforgottenar.org, which is the Arkansas Missing Persons Database. I am from Arkansas, so I try to feature, I do a lot of Arkansas missing persons and cold cases, but I do other states. I try to concentrate in around the southeastern part of the United States. But anyway, we will get to our missing person for the night. I can get my slides to work, which they are not working. There we go. All right, so tonight's missing person is Nathaniel William Carpenter. He is a 19-year-old black male. He is 6'3", 170 pounds, with brown eyes and black hair. He went missing on August 31st of this year, so not too long ago, from Little Rock. So if you have any information about Nathan or his disappearance, you can contact the Little Rock Police Department at 501-371-4605. And I will put a link to this information in the description box, so I encourage you, please share it. The more people that see it, the better, as quickly as possible. This is a fresh case, so I want to get this information out. So hopefully we can jog somebody's memory, generate some leads, and most importantly, just get his name out there and his story out there. All right, with that very important information taken care of, we will get into our case. Like I said, it's an unsolved homicide. Roberta Elam. And like I said, this is from West Virginia from 1977. For some reason, my slides are not wanting to work tonight. There we go. Okay. So Roberta Elam, or Sister Robin, because she was a nun, she passed away on June 13th, 1977. She was at the Sisters of St. Joseph Convent, which is in Wheeling, West Virginia. She was only 26 years old. This is a very, very sad case, which all of them are sad, of course, but this one just seems particularly sad to me, at least. She had a lot going for her. My goodness. She was a former resident of Allendale, New Jersey. She grew up in Minnesota and Illinois. She was the oldest of 4 children before attending Marillac College for undergraduate studies, and she later attended Fordham University for a master's degree in theology. Prior to her death, she traveled all over the state of West Virginia, where she conducted adult religious education classes for the diocese, having trouble using my words tonight, of Wheeling, Charleston. People who knew Roberta well described her as friendly, outgoing. She was a great athlete, someone who loved to laugh and play and have fun. She was known to drive an orange sports car. I love that. I'm also into cars, muscle cars, classic cars. She enjoyed writing poetry. She was the communications director for the Diocese of Wheeling, Charleston. And they said that she was a nice young woman who really lived her life as a Christian. She was very attractive and very happy. So it sounds like she had a lot going for her. She was on her way to becoming a nun, and I believe it said at the time of her death that she was getting ready to take her final vows to become a nun. So we will get into the timeline. So at about 10:30 a.m. on June 13th, excuse me, 1977, Roberta, or Sister Robin, has stopped to grab a snack at the convent kitchen before she was going to go out to a quiet area near the mother house. She was going to meditate and contemplate taking her final vows. She took an apple, her Bible. She walked out to a secluded bench which overlooked a golf course in one direction, and the convent was in the other direction. And it says this is the first of an 8-day silent retreat before formally joining the order. Now, I go to church. I'm religious. But I don't understand, everything that goes into becoming a nun. So if any of you know just anything about it, please do leave a comment. I didn't research it a whole lot. I'm a little bit late in trying to get my videos recorded for this coming week. But anyway, we will move on. So that morning she'd gone out to the bench to meditate, and it is believed that she was sitting on the bench facing a golf course that overlooked Ogle Bay Park. She was in silent prayer, and they believe that's when she was attacked and killed. See if I'm trying to read this little writing here. I think that, okay, said the same thing. So this was about 10:30 in the morning. So at 1:50, so about 3 hours later, a caretaker discovered her body. It was on a slope not far from the bench, and it's believed that she had been attacked from behind pulled backward over the bench and carried about 30 feet, where she was subsequently SA'd and strangled. She had been wearing street clothes. Her blouse and her bra had been pulled up, and her pants and underwear had been pulled down. And the spot where her body would not have been in view of either the convent or the golf course. So that explains why it took about 3 hours for anyone to find her body, because whoever the offender was made sure that he put her in a place where either she wouldn't be found, or, well, she would be found, but it would be maybe a little bit of time before she was found so he could make his getaway. So on July 12th, the Wheeling, West Virginia Police Department issued a public appeal for help, because they said they had been unable to develop any suspects or leads in the case. They didn't have much to go on at the time. So we'll fast forward to August of same year, 1977. Police did identify a car and a suspect. They said they were seeking a car that was seen in the area, and a suspect description was given. You can see at the top that's a drawing of the suspect. And the car that they're searching for, or that was seen in the area, was a mid-1960s Chevy Impala, festooned with religious bumper stickers. The car was seen near the Ogle Bay Park on the day that Roberta was found, and the driver was described as a white, dark-haired male between 30 to 40 years old. Witnesses recall the car as possibly being light blue or gray. And in early September, authorities released the sketch that you see there at the top. It shows a dark-haired man with large dark eyes, bushy eyebrows. Well, now whenever I hear bushy eyebrows, I always think of Koberger, because they made such a big deal out of his bushy eyebrows. But I digress. With bushy eyebrows growing across the bridge of his nose. So it's kind of a little bit generic, but most police sketches are generic. Witnesses are, as I've said before, law enforcement say witnesses are notoriously unreliable in most cases, not all cases, but most cases. So we'll fast forward a month, September 1977, when a former friend of a man named John Shoplack, who is pictured there on the left, he tells police, he claims that Shoplack had confessed to him that he had attacked and killed Roberta, or Sister Robin. This man said that Shoplack had stated that he approached the novitiate. I don't know what that word means. We'll just say Roberta. He approached Roberta from behind and he used a belt to strangle her. He also mentioned crudely that she was either a virgin or was on her period. We'll put it that way, because he had blood on him, according to the police report. Roberta had been having had been having her period when she was killed, and this detail was not released to the media or made public. So that right there gives you an idea that maybe this Mr. Shoplack might, just a possibility, have had something to do with Roberta's death. While this seems like a solid lead, though, authorities are unable to match Shoplack's blood sample to the killer's. thus ruling him out as a suspect. However, the viability of the blood sample he had provided would later be called into question, and we will get into that. So just keep in mind, Mr. Shoplack. So on September 19th of 1977, there was another killing of a nun, this time in Dayton, Ohio. Sister Donna Jean Blau was at the St. Agnes Convent. She is shot and killed by a man named Armel Lee Mullins. Now, the man claimed that the nun had to die because, quote, nuns preached Christianity and should be killed. So to me, this guy's got some problems, a little psychopathy going on. This is just my opinion. But in any case, evidently he had a problem with nuns. Despite the fact that he was 56 years old, short, blonde hair or white hair, and did not resemble the description of the suspect in Roberta's case, West Virginia authorities tried to connect the case to Roberta's case, but they are unable to find a link outside of the fact that both victims were nuns. Plus, the MO was different. Roberta, Sister Robin, was strangled, and Sister Donna was shot. So, but it's not uncommon for an offender to change MOs. We've seen it before. So, possibility, another possible person of interest. So fast forward to October 1977. Henry Edgar Beck, he was considered briefly a suspect in Roberta's case, but he was later cleared by jail records because it was discovered that he was being held in connection with two other assault cases. So he was in jail at the time, so he couldn't have had anything to do with it, so he was cleared. Fast forward once again to October 2005. So from the time that this other gentleman was cleared to 2005, they had no leads, nothing to go on. Case went cold. But in 2005, investigators believe that advances. I'm sorry. My cat is over here. He's I'm so sorry. I don't know if you can hear him or not. He was digging a plastic. I'm sorry. My cat's a crackhead. He was digging the plastic clothes hanger out of the trash and playing with it. But anyway, back to the case. Goodness gracious. Anyway, so 2005, investigators believe that advances in DNA technology could now solve Roberta's case. DNA evidence from the crime scene is submitted to the West Virginia State Forensic Laboratory, and the investigation is reinvigorated, which is always good. Suspects and persons of interest are identified and reinvestigated, and leads are followed up as far away as San Francisco in relation to Sister Robin's killing. Investigators obtain DNA samples and eliminate 23 people. And some of them were deceased. And these 23 people were people who were provided by tipsters. And they also developed new leads and suspects that are not shared with the public. So like I said, not a lot of information, but of course, with ongoing investigation, they're not going to release a whole lot of information per usual. But it is good that they're. Sorry, my cat's back. He's running amok. Hey, calm down over there. Take it down a notch. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me get a drink. It's very late at night, and apparently he gets the zoomies very late at night, and he runs the house. All right, moving on. So we will take a look at what we have as far as persons of interest, suspects. So, of course, the main person of interest. Oh, first in August 2019, John Shoplack passes away. But authorities, because he was hospitalized before he passed away, authorities were hopeful that some DNA may still be within the hospital and available for testing. So apparently, he is pretty high up as a person of interest or even a suspect for, I almost said Robin, for Roberta's death. And to me, in my opinion, he's probably the number one person of interest at the least and a suspect. But anyway, he passes away, but they're hoping that the hospital they can get some DNA from the hospital to be tested. Okay, so now we will move to our persons of interest, suspects, and information, just to recap what we have. So, of course, we're going to start with John Shoplack. He was a suspect early in the case, but he was eliminated because his blood type did not match the killer's. So apparently in 1977, about all they had to go on was blood typing, because DNA wasn't really advanced as advanced as it is now. However, the source of his blood type was his military records, and apparently this says it has a fairly high error rate. I don't know what they mean by that. If anybody knows, please let me know in the comment. And another thing that's a big red flag, he knew very specific details about the case that had never been made public and could not have been guessed. So he had information. And he had been previously accused of essaying 2 girls and robbing his own grandmother. And it gets better or worse. Violence and force were used, and he actually cut off his grandmother's finger in the commission of the crime, and he wrapped a telephone wire around her neck to prevent her from screaming. So, Mr. Shoplack, in my opinion, is a horrible human being. And in my opinion, I would not be surprised. He is my number one, in my opinion, number one suspect in Roberta's killing. So, but I would love to hear what your opinions are, if you think Mr. Shoplack had anything to do with Sister Robin's case. All right. Next, we have this friend of Mr. Shoplack who told authorities that Mr. Shoplack had confessed to him in 1977 that he had assaulted and killed Roberta. So it's kind of piling up against Mr. Shoplack. He's got information that was not released to the public. He's got this supposed friend of his that claimed that he confessed. So we're building a case, or we're not building a case. The authorities are building the case. Okay, so we got Armel Lee Mullins. He was the the individual who killed another nun, Sister Donna Jean. She was a Roman Catholic nun, and this happened in Dayton, Ohio. West Virginia authorities looked at him closely as he had made comments that she had to die because she preached Christianity, but they were unable to find a link to Roberta's killing. So I'm sure they kept him in mind as a potential person of interest. But to me, he's further down on the list. And then we have this unidentified suspect who was seen in the vicinity of where Roberta was killed. White male, dark dark hair and eyes, dark complexion, 30 to 33 years of age, 160 pounds, 5'10" to 6 foot inches tall. And he was also driving the 1960s gray or blue Chevy Impala with several religious bumper stickers. So, to me, that seems kind of ironic because if he is the offender, which to me, probably not, I don't know. If he has something against nuns, but then he has religious stickers, then makes sense. But it's just something to think about. This is just all my opinions. All right, so where does the case stand today? So in the early 2000s, Ohio County Sheriff reinvigorated the case by sending crime scene evidence to a lab that was able to extract a DNA sample believed to belong to Roberta's killer, which is excellent. The genetic profile produced from the DNA sample has been sent to hundreds of labs and law enforcement agencies in the hope that one day it will match someone in one of those databases. And that's all we can hope for, is they put it in what's it called, CODIS and all these other databases that are out there. So if this offender ever offends again and leaves DNA and they match it up and bingo, you are good to go. Or at least you got a starting point to go by. One suspect that was eliminated early on, John Shoplack, has resurfaced on police radar now that there is a DNA sample. At the time of the initial investigation, Shoplack allegedly knew details about the crime that had not been released to the public, including the presence of menstrual blood. But he was eventually eliminated because his blood type on file in military records, which were prone to error at the time, did not match the killer's. And although Shoplack died in 2019, the Ohio County Sheriff's Office is trying to obtain a tissue sample from a hospital that treated Shoplack prior to his death, so that they can compare his DNA to the sample that they have from the crime scene. So hopefully they can get the tissue sample, test it. Maybe, in my opinion, hopefully it will come back to him because, like I said, in my opinion, he's at the top of the suspect list. All right, I think that is it. Oh, so if you do have any information about Roberta or her disappearance, you can call or contact the West Virginia State Police at 304-746-2100 or the Wheeling Police Department at 304-234-3664. So I encourage you, please share this video, like it, comment on it. The more shares, likes, comments it gets, the more YouTube pushes it out, and the more people that see it, the better. Helps get the stories out, help keeps the names out there, so they're never forgotten, And hopefully we can do a little part here on this little channel to maybe try to bring some resolution to this case. So until next time, sorry, my screen is being screwy here. If you like what I do here at True Crime, forgot the name of my channel, Southern Gal True Crime, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell to notification bell to all. Upload Mondays, Wednesday, Fridays. I will be back Wednesday. I believe if I can have time to get a video recorded, I'm going to do take a closer look, a short little video of taking a look at the victims of BTK Dennis Rader. Because most, big medias, they focus on the offender, and sometimes the victims get forgotten. And here I want to focus on the victims. So I will try to get that video recorded and uploaded sometime Wednesday. So look forward to that. And then Friday, or no, today's Friday. I said Monday we'll have Missing Person Monday, Wednesday the BTK victims, and then next Friday we'll have another cold case of the week. All right, so until then, please do take care of yourselves. Be very careful out there. Sorry, I'm trying to get. Take care of each other. That's the most important thing we can do in this world, is take care of our fellow human beings so we can all make it through this life safely. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.